Hey guys, have you heard of Anchor by Spotify? If you haven't, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Everything you need, all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need, all in one. And best of all, it's totally free. How great is that? Download your Anchor app and go to anchor.fm and get started. Hey, what's up?
What's up? This is Everyone and Their Mom.
Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also listen to our podcast on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And also Anchor. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm mom.
I'm Jerry Lynn. I'm the stepmom.
So today we're talking about blended families, and we're going to go into that in a second. But first, I would like to thank you guys for listening to our first podcast and subscribing.
Yeah, we've been getting really good feedback. Loving all the feedback that you guys have been giving. All the support. It's very nice. Love that.
Yeah, it's getting us excited for everything that we're going to be doing in the future, which we had some ideas that we were shooting back and forth last night. And in the future, we'd like to do some Q&As and, when you guys get to know us better and stuff like that. And we also were talking about doing a giveaway for, since the holidays are coming up and maybe around Christmas time, giving a little gift basket away for.
And even if you guys too would also like to put your input on that, what you guys would be interested in receiving from us, and then also, we'll come up with obviously a way to win the giveaway. But yeah, so that's all really exciting, and thanks again for listening in. So we're going to just jump right into what we're talking about today, which again is blended families. And so I got this basic definition of what a blended family is off of Google. And it says, blended families redefine togetherness in many ways. How to create united blended family that includes happiness, step-parents, and step-siblings and exes. And so these are some ways that they came off of Google, but we also, put in our own input of, what we did to blend our family. So I'll start off.
Yeah.
We've had, we started first, absolutely, back up. We started as every Sunday playing ball and stuff with everyone together. We would even get some of Jessica's family together and do that with everyone.
Yeah.
And that was fun. We started with kickball, and then we realized that.
Then we did baseball, and
we kind of went through every sport, to be honest.
Yeah.
That we could with the kids. I mean, they are still kind of young, so that was kind of tough.
Yeah.
But that was still fun for all of us.
Yeah, it was. Spencer with freaking sports is pulling teeth.
Yeah, no, we had a few meltdowns throughout the games.
Yeah,
but we made
losing.
It. Yeah,
it's real hard.
But then now every Sunday, that's our switch off days. And
yeah, and we use that time to get together and recuperate and tell each other funny things that the kids said and did, and we talk about what's going on at school. We make sure that they have everything that they need and stuff like that. When we switch off, we literally bring what came to the house back, and we, here's this, and, update on medicines, update on any stuff going on with school and stuff like that. And I think I already said that, sorry. But, yeah, so Sundays is really our day. And I mean, that could be, y'all could, it would be really helpful and for other people to pick a day, whatever your day is, that you are switching off with your ex or, whoever you're switching off with, and, use that time to let the kids see,
all of you be together. yeah, it's just kind of like our connecting point and letting the kids know like we're still a family.
I think
stuff
we've
like
even had a few times where we've just got together and grilled.
Yeah,
like not even on Sunday. Well, not even on Sundays.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we won't even have the kids and we hang out. But like that also comes like after building your bond and stuff like that. And I hate like saying that because people like, I love saying it actually. Like, let me say that. But like I'm saying, I hate saying it in the sense of I hate for other people that it can't be like that or whatever, but it can be eventually.
That definitely comes in time though.
Yeah. It did not happen like that overnight at all. And I'm glad that we're able to do that. Like people think we're so crazy when, my kids called, they were with my mom and I was like, hey, how are you guys doing? And we had them in the car, like on Bluetooth and they hear, Jerry Lynn in the background and Jesse in the background and Patrick, and they're like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're just hanging out. They think it's so funny like, that we do that without them. They're like, without us? But no, I mean, I think it's great. And I feel like they're going to grow up and be like, all my parents are friends. Like, and it's just, I'm hoping that eventually this world sees it as backwards to be separated instead of so divided. But that's our way of like our bonding and stuff like that. And I really just, I don't know, like with other families,
I mean, everybody's going to have their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
So even if it's not like, I don't know, so you don't drop off or anything like that, say that you don't, and you have your other ways of doing things. I don't know.
Yeah. And we also, another thing that we do too, an example in bonding that they put on the internet, they said that, reading a story together. Well, this is mainly meaning like, so when you got with, for example, when you got with Jessica, you're coming into a family and making it blended. Like you're the stepmom now is really what that's about, is like adding steps, exes, both the parents, new people coming into the family and stuff like that and making it blended. And it was saying that basically you don't have to get together and do this big old elaborate thing like what we were saying we do. It doesn't have to be that crazy, but at bedtime, making it a ritual to read a book with the kids or whatever, you and the step parent, so the main parent and the step parent. And I don't mean me and Jerry Lynn, but like at my house or whatever, when me and Patrick sit down and we're putting the kids to bed, he's in the room and he's reading a book with me and they're going to bed. And then vice versa, that happens at Jerry Lynn and Jesse's house. And it's just showing togetherness in a divided home, but making it more together, if that makes any sense. That just sounded so crazy, but
I mean, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah, it sounds like some
way of
weird
connecting
like equation. But that is what it is. And it definitely makes for bigger solutions in the future to make things easier. You could do like a weekly trip to a playground with the family and, you guys getting together and talking about what the kids are doing. I mean, find common ground in the kids. That's where it starts all the time, is with them. Like, even when we come over here on Sundays, we don't jump straight into like fun and whatever. We're just like, hey, how are you guys? It's kind of like not like awkward, but it's like a silence for a second until it's like, hey, so Spencer said this funny thing, or Quinn fell on her butt today, and I don't know.
Girls are pretty wild though. They usually kind of start it for us.
Yeah, and it's never going to be perfect or easy, but like, just you have to start somewhere, and like I said, kids are common ground. But and so the next, like, I guess, category, where did you want to lead in with that?
We can go ahead and start with I don't know, let's talk about getting along.
Okay. So you definitely need to get along with your ex first and foremost. Try, at least.
It's not always easy.
Yeah. No, and I mean, like, you're not going to agree upon everything or whatever. Your ex is for a reason. I hope that did not stop our podcast.
So just go black.
Yep. I mean, I'm going to take this part out, but I'm just saying. But anyways, okay. So yeah, your ex is for a reason. And, you're not going to agree upon everything that you feel or whatever, but your child needs to see you getting along with your ex. And you definitely don't need to be disrespectful or inappropriate to them in front of your child. That's really important too. I know that, stuff gets the best of us. We're all humans and stuff like that, but it's, your kid needs to see you getting along with everybody. And then also if your ex has a new girlfriend or a stepmom or whatever, you also need to learn to get along with them, or stepdad, whatever the situation is.
I mean, also if you have your disagreements, that's fine, but try to keep it away from the kids type thing.
Yeah, just try to keep it just between the adults.
I don't know, like before, I don't know, you go to bed or whatever, like, hey, I didn't agree with this type thing, but obviously the kids don't need to hear that type of thing. So more positivity around the kids.
Yeah, sure. Keep it to maybe even just like a phone call or pull them aside or whatever. Like, don't show it in front of them. Now, kids also do need to see like positive ways of handling things. So, I mean, even if, you want to address it in front of the kids, like I can't think of an example, but say something happens and like, hey, I didn't like that. We need to talk about that later. That's showing a positive solution to you attempting to fix something later on. Because I heard something on a different podcast and I wish I could recall what I heard it on right this second, but I can't. But I did hear something on a parenting podcast. Actually, it was a marital podcast, and I can't think of the name of that one, but it was basically saying that kids do need to see you, actually like fighting healthy, because in the future when they grow up and they think like, how do they fight? You gotta kind of teach them how to fight properly and healthy and in a positive way. And I know that sounds weird because fighting's never positive, but it also doesn't need to be so silent that you don't even know what to do. So like I said, just I'm going to address that with you later. Bam. And it's done. So some common kid problems that they deal with in blended families that your children could be, dealing with. They need to be treated equally, like all step siblings and your biological kids need to be treated the same as your step kids, because they can feel the difference. So for a main example is like gifts and stuff like that, do equally for both, discipline for both. So your parents, like you as parents, need to come together as a whole and agree upon some discipline rules, like come up with the house rules, come up with how you plan to discipline, and come up with some common ground on that, because if you do not,
it's a disaster.
Oh yeah. Like I remember as a kid or whatever, my dad had I had a stepmom pretty early on in life. I was like 5. And I mean, and that's fine. I was just saying I was pretty young, but my dad's not so strict and she's more strict. And so when we would go and visit him on the weekends, he also wasn't like, we'd only see him on the weekends. So when we'd see him every other weekend, we're like, he's not ready to just get down and discipline us if we do something bad. And he's, like, I barely see them. And she's like, no, they just all did the same things my kids did. They need to be spanked, or they need to be put in timeout or whatever. And I understand what she was saying, like, now that I'm an adult and stuff like that, but it would tick me off because I'm like, you're my stepmom, like, you're not my mom or whatever. And I don't know you like that. Like, you can't do those things to me, or whatever the case is or whatever. And they needed to come up with some sort of middle for both the kids. So like if he was like, okay, I agree with timeout, then she needed to put her kids in timeout along with us, instead of, it being we're sitting out still watching TV while they're in trouble grounded. It wasn't really fair. And I think that also created a divide between us and our step siblings. Me and Noah, again, it made us like a team against the steps, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, we'll also, I guess I'll see that hands-on also with us having one.
Yeah, no, you
coming
will.
into that.
It's coming. Like, we have a lot of, and they're also going to feel, even though you're not doing it on purpose, it's a new baby. And that brings like everybody together and they're happy. And, it's so little. Let me hold her or him. And they're like, they're excited, but at the same time, it brings jealousy. And I feel like you're giving this new baby more attention than me. They're getting new clothes. They're getting all these cool toys. And they're like, well, and then they're, it's just going to create like little rifts or whatever between them. And I mean, that's normal though. That's kids.
Okay, so children learn trust when they experience fair and effective discipline. So that comes from like both households.
Mm-hmm.
So finding like basically like you said, the common grounds or whatever. But
yeah, they need consistency. Like all children do. It makes them feel less confused and more secure about their decisions.
Kids are smart. They're not dumb by no means.
Yeah, they definitely like pick up on cues and everything that we do or whatever. They're paying attention. And they learn to if they're paying attention on like what we're like, how we discipline, and if we're not consistent and stuff like that, they can learn to manipulate the parents and stuff like that. They're very smart in that way.
Speaking of discipline, as like a stepmom, discipline, like, I mean, starting off wise, like disciplining kids that is not yours can be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're having to find ways to do it in a way that the other parent does it, and be in a respectful way.
Mm-hmm.
And I know growing up, like I was disciplined like horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was getting yelled at constantly, like just in awful ways that you obviously don't want to pass on to your own child.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn to discipline like the girls in gentle ways.
Yeah. And effective.
Yeah.
And like making sure that,
and every kid is disciplined different.
Yeah.
Like we have,
for example,
we have one that is, you literally can look at her.
Yep.
And she knows automatically to
change
stop
what she's doing.
And she'll literally like, we'll have a full on meltdown.
Yep.
And then we're good. The other one,
oh yeah, she'll buck back at you when you tell her to do something. She's very like, you have to be more hands on with her. And as opposed to like Spencer, you could just look at her and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
I'm such a bad kid. But we're not telling her that at all. She automatically goes to that, and we have to constantly tell her that you're not a bad kid. You made a bad choice. And this is how you're going to not do it again. And she rarely ever does do it again. I mean, the main thing is really just fighting with her sister, which I think is, just normal. It's always going to happen. But siblings have.
I mean, I've even texted Morgan sometimes, or if I have the girls like I always have the girls by myself if Jessica's at work type thing.
Yeah.
But I've texted Morgan like, listen, I don't know like what to do at this point. Like, I'm losing it. And she's literally had to talk to me like through like, hey, this is how you do it type thing.
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm not perfect either. Like, I'll say some crap and I'll like to the kids or whatever, and I have to go walk away. I'll go close myself in the room, and then I come back, and you also have to apologize to your kids. We're not perfect either. Like, we're going to mess up. I'm not saying just cuss at them and go crazy and then come back in there and apologize and then do it again tomorrow. But you're going to have your days where you're upset and you're going to say some messed up stuff you did not mean to say, and you need to realize that, become aware of yourself and what you said.
Awareness is huge.
Yes.
And I've had to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been rough.
Yeah. I hate it for people that like are not aware of themselves and just never will be. But it is something that you do need to, like, everybody needs to practice. When someone points out something to you, they're seeing it from the outside. So maybe not how they're saying it. They could be saying it really harshly or whatever, but try to listen to there's some truth into what they're possibly saying. So listen to, your friends, your family, or whatever. And I've had my boyfriend had to tell me, I think I said this in the last episode, but it got cut out or whatever. I've been verbally abusive in the past. Like, I have to watch what I say, due to stuff that's happened to me in my past. And, I say, messed up stuff. And I've had to come back to Spencer and be like, I'm so sorry. I said that. I did not mean that. I don't feel that way.
I'm the same way though I speak very loudly. I'm a very loud person. So when I'm speaking, not so much Quinn, because she's kind of just go with the flow, whatever type person. But Spencer, I can be speaking to her and not even be mad or be like any type of way. She takes it that way. Like I'm like yelling at her, and that's not by any means what I'm doing. And at first I was like get over it type thing. But now I literally have to go to Spencer and like, I'm not yelling at you. Like, you're not in trouble.
It's just like fine. Your tone. She's so sensitive to people's tones.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing that I mainly need, or I just mean and want to emphasize differently. Definitely apologize to your kids. Kids need it too. I've seen that everywhere or whatever. I feel like that's something our parents didn't really give us. It would be like, go to your room, and they'd say all this crazy stuff or whatever to you. And then when you're in there thinking about it. Yeah. But at the same time, they may have said some messed up stuff to you or did some messed up stuff to you that they needed to apologize for. And you'll never get that. But like, for me, I'm going to break that cycle to, go in that room and be like, look, you did wrong. This is where I'm wrong too. And this is both a learning process. Like, you're learning to be a parent every day of your life, and they're learning to grow up and be an adult. And no matter what their age is, you're teaching them to be a teenager, you're teaching them to be a kid, you're teaching them to be an adult in the future, whatever stage you're at in life with parenting your kids. And, I want them to be great human beings. And it's hard and it's frustrating, and you say things sometimes and you do some things sometimes, and you just got to go back and fix your mistakes. But with Quinn, it's so much different. Like, it's harder.
That is such night and day.
Stronger willed, which is good in the future. But right now,
sometimes you just want to like
layer out.
Just straight the heck out.
Yeah. But, and, Jesse's so like, go with the flow.
I was about to literally go into that, I'm more of, I don't know, I'm more strict. I'm more like, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's happening. And Jessica is so go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, well, obviously, like you, like you're, very strict. I mean, I wouldn't say very strict.
I kind of have like the perfect middle. Like I don't know. I have like, I'm laid back about certain things. I want my kids to, still, not saying that you don't want that either. Like you do kid-like things with them. So don't take this as I'm like targeting anyone in this aspect. But like, I'm just saying, for me, I'm very like, follow the rules, but I'm also like, let's have fun. And I also like, for example, y'all pay on this couch. So obviously.
That's so funny you said that, because in my head I was thinking like when we were talking about the rules at like different house, and they know. Yeah. They know when they're at your house that, hey,
we can jump
on this couch.
So I have a broken couch, and I like to dance and have fun on my couch with my kids. And I broke my couch dancing and having fun with my kids. But to me, like, I wasn't allowed to jump on the bed. I wasn't allowed to jump on the couch or whatever. Like, and when I don't have kids, like around, like kids, like when they grow up, I'll always have kids. But I'm saying when they grow up and they're not jumping and playing on the couch, I'll get a new couch, and I will, and they can not jump on my couch. Hey, don't jump on my couch. Why would they jump on my couch? They're grown ass people, like they don't need to be jumping on the couch. But right now, like then they come and do flips on the couch, and they show, Mom, look at this. I'm sitting there, doing my nails or whatever, and they're just like, look at me, do that, like playing. I also have a small apartment, and there's not much to do. So do whatever you want. Just don't color on my walls. But like,
or put stickers on the wall.
Yeah, that. I mean, obviously it's not do whatever you want, but like, it's just be kids and, whatever. But then when they come over here, they know to not jump on the couch. Like, they have a nicer couch than I do. They care about their stuff. I personally, I've had my stuff for a long time, and I don't necessarily care about it too much. And like I said, when they grow up, I'll get new stuff.
But I also think that it's really good that the girls know, though, that also.
Yeah.
Because just like at your house, they were like, we can jump on the couch here.
Mm-hmm.
We're being bad. Like, type thing.
Yeah.
Like that whole joke
I thought that was
made.
so funny. They were jumping on the couch and we're like, we're being bad girls. And I was like, why do y'all keep saying that? What does that even mean? Like, we're being so bad. And I was like, what is happening?
I'm pretty sure you called me.
Yeah.
And said something about that. And I was like,
it's because they're not allowed to jump on my
couch.
Over here.
So they automatically know, like, they understand, like, you have rules at your house, we have rules here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They have, they get to be kids no matter where they're at. I don't mean that in that way. It just, I
think it's just in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. And like I said, too, my place is really small, so I want them to be able to free reign it as much as they possibly can, because I get fed up, and I just recently, I hate moving furniture around. I'm the type of person that if it's been a certain way for a long time, it ain't moving. Like, when I was little, I flipped out over a coffee table being moved, and it was because I didn't like change. And I feel like that was around the time where my parents were like about to get divorced and stuff like that, and I felt that more so, and just things were changing. And I could feel it. And so, like, I'm just a weird person when it comes to change. I hate it. But, like, recently I've moved my whole living room around, and I've given myself a whole lot more space. So, I've adapted. I've grown up.
Look at that growth.
And Spencer's kind of the same way. Like, why did this move? Why did you touch this? Like,
she notices the smallest things.
That's exactly how I am.
It can be a picture on the wall. She's like,
yep.
Why did you move that?
Yep.
I'm like, sorry.
I didn't want that there.
Yeah, and I'm so different. I need change. If something's been away for a really long time,
mm-hmm.
I need to move it.
Yep.
I just can't.
Yeah, I'm not that way at all. Yeah, but I have, like, a weird situation where I've lived in, like, several different of the apartments that I've lived in, and the units are kind of, they're, like, exactly the same, unless you get, like, a different bathroom selection. And every time I move into a different one, the furniture goes in the exact same spot. Like, it has to.
Oh, see, I would go nuts.
And, like, I've lived in y'all's units that y'all live in now, like, just totally different complex. They live in a townhome complex, and I would probably put my furniture the exact same way if I moved here. The bedroom have to be the same.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I could not.
And it's weird, too, because I lived in the apartment when I was little. I lived in that same apartment complex that I live in now, and I picked the room that me and my brother slept in. And we had bunk beds, and I sleep in that same room. Like,
oh, my.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm. My mom was like, why don't you pick the bigger room? And I was like, it's not that much bigger.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Because that was her room. She chose the bigger bedroom. And I was like, no, I don't want to be in that room. But, yeah, I'm weird. Don't move my shoes from where they go at the front door.
Oh, my God.
I'll catch you. But, yeah, I don't know how we got off on that topic.
It's usually what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to touch base again on our Q&A a little bit more and say that I want you guys to send me in some questions on anything that you would like us to talk about on this podcast or ask us about. In the future, we're talking about, like, communication and relationships, and
even if it has nothing to do with any of
that.
that.
It could be about your own situation, and you have a story that you want to tell and you want us to tell it on the podcast, or it could even be a question that you want to ask us about, us personally, about our family, about what you want us to talk about in the future.
I love reading stories.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, definitely send them in.
I'm very intrigued by other people's
situations, especially if they're similar and especially if they're not similar. Like I said, doesn't make sense, especially, but I love situations that have to do with our similar situation, but I also love seeing people that have, no relative, what would I say? Relativeness to our situation. Because, it's fun seeing like the difference in, what they do and compared to what we do and stuff like that. And, but definitely we love doing that. And if you, want any advice on it or whatever, let me know at the bottom of that story. Or if you just want us to read out the situation, definitely we plan on doing a whole podcast for Q&As and stories on that coming up in the future. And we also don't forget to send in some ideas on what you want us to do for the giveaway. We were thinking like a basket full of some stuff, maybe getting some t-shirts made. And
also that, like, if you have any ideas, does it have to be a t-shirt?
Yeah, it could be a tumbler cup. It could be
well, yeah, so like you guys give us ideas of like what would be useful.
Yeah. But you can send that into our Instagram page at everyoneandtheirmom.pc, or we have a Facebook page. Which, do you have the name of the Facebook page? Because I don't.
I do. It's
I haven't really been active on it, and
it's Everyone and Their Mom, but you have to capitalize the E.
Yeah, because apparently there's another Everyone and Their Mom.
Yeah,
and we didn't know that. But
for some reason, it actually did work. I actually did type in Everyone and Their Mom, and it popped right up. So
and you'll see our little podcast logo with our little bit emojis.
And if you could give us a follow on there.
Yeah, that'd be nice, because I haven't really been active on that. It's been mainly Instagram and stuff like that, and I've been real active on like Facebook groups right now for like moms and support groups and step parenting, co-parenting, and we've even did some LGBTQ follows for moms and parents and blended families and stuff like that. It's and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on that, and people sending in like, how do you guys do this? My ex is crazy, or whatever. And we know we've been there.
We were the crazy ones.
Yeah. We've definitely been that crazy family before, and people are real shocked that we're here today, and we're very proud of ourselves that we're doing this, and it's real fun. But definitely we want to see what's going on with y'all.
Yeah, I would love to hear some stories.
Yeah, and tell me where you're from also in it. That'd be fun too, so I can read that off, like where you don't have to give me like your exact address or anything, but like, hey, I'm from Pennsylvania, whatever. And
I've seen a few from California.
Yeah, and I'm shocked about that. And we've been having a lot of like Atlanta followers, like a lot.
Oh yeah, there was a lot in Atlanta.
Yeah, there's a huge percentage of it. So shout out Atlanta.
Right.
Well, to wrap it up,
at the end of the day, blended family is a family first and foremost.
The more parenting experiences you gain, the more mistakes you make and learn from. The better you become a parent, step-parent, and a spouse.
That leads into just a happier, adjusted, well-blended family.
Okay, next time on Everyone and Your Mom.
Bye!
Their mom.